If there's a light in front of me, I swear that I can't see it anymore. When
Hey
will I
everybody, I hope
find
everyone's
my
doing
way
well. Well,
back
today it is
home?
August 21st, 2024. It is Wednesday and I'm here to do my after therapy talk. I do believe I posted a video, I'll link it right here. It was a really big update. I encourage you to watch that video because that one is going to explain a lot of what I'm talking about here. All right, so in today's therapy, actually, it wasn't really much new in my therapy session today. It was really a lot about reiterating points when it comes to my marriage of 24 years, which I am separated from my husband. And in the video, in that update video, I talked a lot about how I understand so much, so much. And so there has been, since I last seen her, just memories and conversations that I've had with my husband that now that I really understand him, now that I really have a lot of, just awareness of why my marriage of 24 years has been the way it is. I have been able to reflect on a lot of conversations, a lot of things that were said, a lot of things that were done, and really start to understand it, in specific, like specific things. And, that's really what I talked to her about today. There was a couple of things that I wanted to share with her that occurred in the marriage and how I see why they were the way they were. I said it in the video, but the dysfunction of the marriage started the day of the marriage. And I know that's sort of sometimes hard because usually or hard to understand that sort of concept, and this is what's been a very confusing point for me as well. That's why I thought that, a lot of it must be me, I'm just making it up, or interpreting things wrong or whatever. But a lot of times in marriages, it's a progression of change. And it could be for many reasons, right? But there is a progression. You start off married, you start off in love, and you start off with all these dreams and things, and you're going along, and then there's a shift, and sometimes it's finances or children or whatever, job stresses, infinite amount of reasons why couples start to pull apart, or there's a shift or a change. That just wasn't my case. And in my case, it started right from the day we got married. One of the things that I was talking to her about today was just I've been doing a lot of reflecting now that I have a lot of understanding of the marriage and him and myself and my role, is that I was able to look at specific things in my marriage and I wanted to talk to her about them. And I guess it's just a way for me to say, when you do a number on your mind and you take it all in, and you start to now see things, sometimes I doubt, I don't have I doubt my own thinking sometimes. So anyway, I just sort of reiterated some things and I sort of, talked to her about some things, and yeah, she sort of reiterated the points, that have been made already. And the other thing too, when it comes to me now, just more me and my own healing, is remember in that other video I talked about a plate, and we all have a plate, right? We all put things on our plate, things that we shouldn't. And in my case, I do a lot of that. It's what I need to heal. I take in things, and like for instance, when it comes to my marriage, I sort of just piled it on my own plate because I blamed myself. It was me, it was in my head, you know, I'm this, I'm that, this is something that I do from childhood and that I need to heal, is that cognitive distortion, that way of thinking almost 24/7, or the way I look at things, and there could be no other rationale, but just I put it on myself. And so I have this plate, right? And that's what we were working on today, is the plate. And I'm starting to remove things from the plate. and we were talking about all these things, you know, but I still have a lot on my plate. And so that I think there are certain things that when it comes to healing, that I'm going to be able to really remove things off the plate. And one of the things she was telling me is that nobody has such a clean plate. You know, it's not like that. It's, you know, even what we do to ourselves that we shouldn't, right? And like for me, the healing that I need to do for myself, you know, she says, you're always going to default to those things. And I'm understanding that now. You're always going to default to that way of thinking. So she says, so let's say I go through life, right? And I'm feeling good. I've worked on this. I've healed so much. I feel good and things. And you're going through life, you know, you're going through life. And there's somebody that comes in your life who's maybe somebody significant to you, and they're going to tell you about you. Well, you're going to want to put that on your plate, maybe. Maybe it was a trigger that, you know, you start to do that again. And she says that's going to be part of your life. You know, it's not going to be, you know, always like so clean. And she wanted me to understand that because I can be very hard on myself. I can be very, very hard on myself. And so understanding that you're able to say, okay, this is what I'm doing again, and sort of reflect on it. She says also that's why sometimes people go back to therapy because they find themselves slipping a lot into the default. There was something that happened in their life, something maybe big in their life that happened, and they just finding themselves sort of slipping into that. And then they end up going back into therapy. So it's not uncommon, Laura, she says, especially the big traumas and things that we have been in our lives, like I have, that you find yourself from time to time back in therapy. She says sometimes you'll see people in therapy for years, for years. So it's not uncommon, but the goal is to eventually tell me you don't need me anymore. That's how she said it. She says that's what you want. One day you'll come on here and you're gonna say, you know what, I don't need you. That's the goal. But what she was saying was that, you know, it's not always such a clean plate, you know, and sometimes you default and you go back into therapy. But yeah, that's what we're working on is eliminating those things that just don't belong, and a lot of those things are going to come through the healing process and the techniques that we are now going to be able to do. Because I did tell her, you know what, I don't want to talk about my marriage as much anymore. I want to talk about the events and specific issues that I need to heal from, but to understand, I really feel like I finally get it. But I want to move on. I told her I want to start the healing techniques. And so that's what we're going to be working on is cleaning up my plate. What I'm supposed to be working on this weekend is I'm going to be working, literally, I'm going to be drawing out a plate and I'm going to put things on there that I feel like I have taken in. And I'm going to present it to her next Wednesday, and we're going to talk about those things, and that's how we're going to start that. So I'm very, very excited for moving on now. It's very liberating. 24 years is a long time, and there's a lot of things that I've done to myself mentally, not just to myself, but also, you know, certain situations has done a number to me as well. I can tell you this, though. I can tell you this. You know, we live together, and I think I mentioned it in the other video, but we live together, and I can tell you that there's just a lightness. At least for me, I can only speak on myself. I can only speak about what's going on in this brain. There's a lightness. There's a true lightness, so that when I'm with him, if we're in the common areas, that because I understand him and because I understand from where it all came from, the dysfunction. Again, I'm not, I'm saying I understand my role. I completely understand that I just sort of took that all in and everything. And more and other things too. It's a marriage, it's two people, but I'm saying in a very general sense, the issue, the main issue at hand, that because of this issue, then you had all these cascading situations happen. But because I understand him and I understand the marriage, I'm able to be here with him. I know there's going to, like I said in the video, there's going to be a conclusion. There has to be, and I talked about that with my therapist. I understand that. But at least right now, there's no imminent decision making, and it doesn't need to be, not right now. I can just tell you, for right now, I'm okay. But we're going to let his therapy, my therapy, and see. I know I'm growing. I know I feel good. I know that I have a lot of work to do as well. And we'll just see where this ends up. And my therapist actually said, that is a very sane way of viewing it. It's really, really good. It's really good. She actually congratulated me. She did. She goes, I want to congratulate you, Laura. That is so amazing. So amazing, because she knew it. I mean, she was there. It was rough. Mentally, I really broke down. You can say I had a breakdown, nervous breakdown, or mind breakdown. I don't know. And she was concerned for me. She was. So to be here, it's just like the lenses just opened up. You're just like, here, a new pair of glasses, look at this. And you saw everything clear. So that's why I say, what had to happen for me to get to this point. But right now everything is, for me, my mind is calm, and that is a good starting point for any decisions to come to be made from this perspective. It's a good place. So anyways, I do have homework. I'm going to work on my plates. I'm going to do a graph of a plate, and I'm just going to put things on there that, things that I think that I've done to myself. And in therapy, we will add or we'll remove, So it's a good technique. I like that plate technique because it's a really good visual, Anyways, my friends, that is it. That is everything. And I hope to start bringing my videos back. Slowly but surely, I will start making content again, little by little, I think. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just start whipping them out, But I definitely want to bring what I eat in a day and things like that, that has to do with my ketogenic diet because, I've gained weight. I have. And I understand that too. It's part of a process of where I'm at right now. My body, my mind, and everything, And I'm hoping as I heal and my body feels calmer, as it already does, that it will reflect on the scale as well. But I'm taking in the process regardless. And so I want to share some more details with you guys when it comes to what I eat in a day and things like that. Yeah. All right, my friends. Take care. I'll see you soon.